I just came back for the win.
Now, the good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Chicago Bears. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds his man. It's Charlie Kohler. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. To throw is Jackson. That'll be complete to Dobbins. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Three yards remain for 2nd down. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. A swing pass here to Edwards. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mike Evans. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Ravens are on the board first here this afternoon. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Now a second down and 6. Here's Fields. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, their defense got them the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, at the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brand, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got two. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Will we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On second down, Montgomery. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on third. Fields. And firing a deep ball for Kmet. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is, we want to be the guys to end that streak, and what's working in their favor, the winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Stopped on the play by Connor Gordon. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Evans. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
After the sack on first down, Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Jackson. Touchdown! Devin Duvernay, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take a 3-touchdown lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And that will be incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
They snap it to Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Devin Duvernay, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And my goodness, another interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
A gain of 5 brings us 2nd and 5 at the 7-yard line.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5.
13.
That's complete, left side to Bateman. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Gus Edwards taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens open the lead up to 34-0. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, you know, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Charles, it was so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 27 yards there, a first down. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. To throw again is Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 12-yard line. Again, Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Evans with career touchdown number 109. That ties him with Barry Sanders on the all-time NFL list. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it is 42-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now a first down throw, Fields. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. That's going to be caught downfield by Mooney. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Fields now to throw. Got a man, that's Richie James. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 4th down. And they are going for it. Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he is going to have the Bears first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. So the 4th down conversion sets him up with this. 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a give, running left with Montgomery. He'll get this down to the 38. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you, too.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Roquan Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living in the best of both worlds here. Already has an interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On fourth down, Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He was brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the...
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. On 2nd and goal, here's the option. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
And he'll get this awfully close to a 1st down. Boy, that's going to be a razor-thin measurement, but I don't think he got there. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. He tried to keep it himself, but can't stretch his way in. And the Chicago defense able to come up with a goal line stand. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big 1st down to get away from the end zone. Here's Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Out of the gun, Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been up. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Play action. Now Jackson. And he's going to go down again. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down. Open man is Duvernay. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good